Hello, Jonathan Rayo here with Simplified Guitar, and in this lesson, I'm going to be teaching you how to play the song Burning Heart of God by Matt Maher. This song was recommended by Patron Donna. Thank you, Donna, for your song suggestion. Now, what I'm going to do first is play all the way through the song, and then after that, I will break it down and explain it in more detail. So make sure to stick around for that. For now, let's go ahead and play through the song. Light in the darkness, like a city on a hill, with a seat at the table, in the burning heart of God. There's an open invitation for a feast for the poor, and a blessing for the broken, in the burning heart of God. Love like fire, all consuming, from the beginning, without end. My desire is my offering, I'll never be the same, in the burning heart of God. There's a change gonna come, every wall falling down, and another way forward, in the burning heart of God. There's the Savior here among us, and He's paid the price. So lay your burden at the altar, in the burning heart of God. Love like fire, all consuming, from the beginning, without end. My desire is my offering, I'll never be the same, in the burning heart of God. Broken but unbreakable, human but all powerful, heaven falling on this fallen world. How could I stay the same when I found you in the flame? Broken but unbreakable, human but all powerful, heaven falling on this fallen world. How could I stay the same when I found you in the love like fire, all consuming, from the beginning, without end. My desire is my offering, I'll never be the same, in the burning heart of God. No, I'll never be the same, in the burning heart of God. All right, so before I break this song down, if you would like to check out the chord chart for this song, you can click right up there to head over to my Patreon page. Now, for this song, I'm going to be using the G chord family, but I am playing with my capo up on the 3rd fret. So that puts us in G, G sharp, A sharp, or B flat, same thing. But again, I'm using the G chord family. Now, this is just to make it easier for me to sing. You can feel free to shift that capo around or remove it altogether and continue to use the G chord family. and if you need to shift the pitch around to fit your voice. So the chords we're going to be using, we have a G chord. We also have a C add 9 chord. And if you want, you could use just a regular C major in place of that, but I'm using a C add 9. We also have a D over F sharp, which looks like this. You could also use a D major if you prefer. And then we also have an E minor, and I'm doing an E minor 7, which looks like this. And then we also have an A minor 7 over here. You could also use just a regular A minor if you prefer as well. Again, these chord variations that I am using for this song, they are there to make your transitions a lot easier. All the chords have a very similar shape to each other, so it makes transitioning between chords a lot easier. Okay, that's why I use them. For the strum pattern, we have what's called the hyperdrive pattern, and this is a very common pattern, especially in praise and worship music. So what we're going to be doing for this pattern, it's going to be 8 beats long, but if I mute my strings and play it, we're basically going to be eliminating some down strums, but the way the pattern sounds, it's going to be like this: down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Okay, so that's how the pattern sounds, and that's the best way to kind of memorize it is the way the pattern sounds. But what's happening here is I'm playing a down strum on beats 1, and then I'm skipping the down strum on 2, and I'm doing the up strum after beat 2. So on the and between beat 2 and 3. So I have 1, 2, and 3, and 4. So I'm doing down strum on 1, down strum on 4, down strum on 7 and 8. And then the up strums after beat 2 and 3, and after beat 6 and 7, okay? But again, that gets confusing if you're trying to count the beats and do this pattern. It gets very confusing as to what's going on. So it's always better, in this case, to focus on how that beat sounds and how it feels, okay? Again, the best way to practice, mute your strings and do down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Something you do want to keep in mind is you always want your hand to be moving to the rhythm, okay? So even if we're not strumming down on beat 2 and 3 and 5 and 7, we still want our hand to be moving down on those beats so that your hand is moving to the rhythm of the song. What you don't want to end up happening is something like this: down, up, down, up, down. And you're only moving your hand when you need to hit the strings, because that's going to throw you off if you're trying to play with other people, or you're trying to stay consistent with your tempo. It's going to be very hard to do that if you're not keeping your hand moving to the rhythm of the song. So that's why, I wanted to mention what's happening. We're skipping beat 2. We're playing the up strum after beat 2, just so you understand that hand needs to be moving down on beat 2, but you're not hitting the strings. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and it's hard for me to count it and do it. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Okay, that's the best way to practice it. So you can do that. And apart from that, let's see. We do have chords that are going to be lasting for just half of that measure. In fact, that happens a lot for this song. So for instance, at the very beginning, we have that C add 9 that we're starting with, and that's going to last for the first half of that measure. Down, up, down. Okay, so on beat 4 there, when we hit beat 4, that down strum on beat 4, we're transitioning to the G chord. So we have C, 2, down, up, down, down, up, down. Okay, so basically every 4 beats, we're going to be switching chords from the C, and on beat 4, we're switching to the G. And then back to beat 1, we're switching to the D. And then on beat 4, we're switching to the G. Okay, that's kind of the way this song is going to work. That's kind of the pattern that we're going to follow for most of this song. All right, so when we get to that chorus, we have something a little bit different we're going to do there. We've got an E minor 7 chord, And I'm going to hold that for almost an entire measure, but I'm on beat 7, I'm going to be switching to the C add 9 just for the last 2 beats of that measure. So beat 7 and 8, I'm playing the C add 9, and then I'm switching to the G chord for 4 beats, and then back to another C for another 4 beats. All right, so if I were to count that out loud, count the beats out loud, this is what's happening for that chorus. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's that first line of the chorus right there. Okay. So that's something you can do is just isolate any of these problem areas that you might be having, isolate them and practice them by themselves, focusing just on those transitions without the lyrics. And once you get good with those transitions, you can then try to apply the lyrics to it as well. Okay. Those are really the only tricky parts of this song. Everything else is pretty straightforward. But if you do have any questions, feel free to leave any questions in the comment section of this post on my Patreon page. I do answer all of my patrons' questions, and I'll see you in the next song tutorial. Take care.